Alright friends, I'm gonna do my best today. I am talking about a genre that's typically not even a genre that I read, so I'm like, I hope my picks actually reflect this said genre that we're talking about today. Hello friends, happy Wednesday. I'm so very excited that you are here. I can't believe it is the last Top 5 Wednesday video for September. Like this month went so by so fast. There we go. Went by so fast. Oh my goodness. I'm really excited for today's Top 5 Wednesday video. And if you're not familiar with Top 5 Wednesday in a nutshell, each week I answer a prompt using 5 books, but in this case I do manga to reflect that said prompt. And today's prompt is supernatural. Granted, I realize it is not necessarily October or even, Halloween, but in celebration of fall giving or spring giving away to fall and Halloween and it's spooky fun coming up, we're sort of like getting ready. We're just celebrating spring going into fall, and we're talking about supernatural reads that are some of our favorites. This could be supernatural creatures, supernatural settings, or a combination of all of the above. Like I said, I don't typically read supernatural or horror in general. That's usually just not one that I typically pick up because I don't like being afraid. And I guess when I was doing some research, because I was like, okay, I know paranormal is different than supernatural. Based off of the research that I found, supernatural I knew usually has to deal with say angels and demons, or it's more of a spiritual realm, while paranormal deals with say vampires and some of the, what they say, more popular, I'm blanking on the word, but they said fairy tales, but I don't consider fairy tales to be paranormal. It'd be more like vampires and such, and shapeshifters. That's one of them. So hopefully today, except for my honorable mention, because I was like, I just want to feature it because it's cute, and I guess we could go ahead and start off with the honorable mention because I was like, I don't know if I've actually featured this manga in a video, and I got it. I think I got it when my AC went out. My husband let me treat myself to some manga, and I was like, I'm gonna get this because numerous people had recommended it to me, and I learned my lesson with the Savior's Story. Wait, hold on. I had to go find it. The Savior's Book Cafe Story in Another World. I learned my lesson with this, and I was like, I'm not making the same mistake twice. So for my honorable mention that I'm going to do first, that is Daily Report About My Witch Senpai. I got volumes 1 and 2 because I just felt like so many people kept recommending this series to me, and I was like, I'm not missing out on it. And I'm actually really excited that I'm featuring this one, even if I'm like, well, I'm not sure if witches actually count as supernatural. I think it's more paranormal. But I'm like, it's so cute, and I just was like, man, this is a perfect read for Bizarre Individual and Marguerite's manga. They're doing it's called the, was it Manga Freakathon? Or just, I think it's Manga Freakathon. I'll leave a link here if you want to learn more. They are doing a giveaway. It kicks off October 1st and goes to October 31st at midnight. And I'm like, this is what I can read. I'm so excited. I'm trying to get a bingo, and I'm like, I don't read horror, so I'm like, can I even get a bingo? But this one should be able to help me to get a bingo. So, but I decided to do Daily Report About My Witch Senpai because I was like, well, I guess the witch would be the supernatural, but I feel like it's paranormal. But I've heard so many great things about this. I don't remember what it's about, except I do remember people saying that their relationship is so much deeper. It's I was supposed to say adult rom-com. It's not adult rom-com. It's like an adult fantasy. I'm not sure slice of life is the right word, but I know that it happens mainly at the workplace, and she just has a lot of people she does stuff for because they ask her and she doesn't say no, and people take advantage of that. And so her coworker here, he sort of steps in, and I guess when he's stepping in, he just starts to develop feelings for her, and she develops feelings for him, and it's a very sweet and wholesome romance is what I've heard. In fact, I did hear it got so popular and there was such a demand for it in Japan that people wanted this series to be longer, so there is going to be a volume 3, hopefully translated in English since we do have volumes 1 and 2 by 7 Seas. But I just wanted to feature this because I'm like, it's so cute. And look, I think this is like her pet iguana. He looks so cool though. So forgive me if you're like, Laura, you're already starting with paranormal reads, not supernatural reads, but that's what I was like, well, it'll be counted as an honorable mention because I feel like I have a little bit more leeway with the honorable mention. So I cannot wait to read this next month. I'm so excited. I happened to see it on my shelf this morning. I think I was actually going to do Demon Slayer for my honorable mention, but I feel like the demons are more like vampires since they can't be in the sunlight and such. But here we are. Just here we are for the honorable mention. Cannot wait to read it. All right, now we can actually go into the physical picks that I have. And for number 1, I'm going to go with His Majesty, the Demon King's Housekeeper. This just released, I was about to say yesterday, but I think it actually released the previous Tuesday, and I have heard nobody talking about this. I don't know anybody that's interested in it or anybody that's actually picked it up, but I could not stop thinking about this manga when I heard the premise. She is a young woman who gets isekai'd into another world, but here's the thing, she loves and is so passionate about cleaning. And so when she gets isekai'd, she's in this place where it looks like snow is falling, but when the snow hits the ground, it's actually ash, and it's caused all this grime and gunk and just nastiness to overflow in this kingdom and make it super, super dirty. And she's like, what is this? This is so revolting. And she just starts cleaning like a mad woman. She loves it. She just not loves what's happening, but she loves being able to clean. And so that is the premise of this story. And I was like, you know, that is such a unique isekai thing where somebody gets isekai'd and they're like, I am here to clean, and excited to want to clean. That's also just an interesting shoujo fantasy because this is a shoujo title, and that was part of why I wanted to get it, because I want to make more of an initiative to support shoujo titles, especially since I'm realizing I really, really love shoujo, and I'm trying to branch out and actually read stuff that's not just contemporary, because I love my contemporary high school romance. I'm a junkie for it, and sports manga, that's my jam. But anyway, this was really, really good. I read this last night before the video. I don't plan to do an actual review, so I'll leave my Goodreads link to the review down below if you'd like to check it out in the description. But this, I feel, counts as a supernatural because while I feel like he's the Demon King. So I was like, okay, that counts because he's a Demon King, you know, that's definitely supernatural. He is nothing like I expected. I love how our main girl is like, you're saying like you're the Demon King, and she's like in her head, she's like the final boss, the ultimate boss of the video game, and he's so lazy. He's so lazy. In fact, he doesn't even want to do wars or anything like that. And I was like, okay, like this is not what I expected. This whole book was not what I expected. I didn't love the beginning of it, but I am here for it. I definitely plan to pre-order volume 2. I want to see where it goes because they're like, you have cleaning magic like the demons and these other beasts. And she's like, no, this is not cleaning magic. I'm just cleaning. I'm using a broom, dustpan, rags to actually clean stuff when they're actually, the people in this world are used to using actual clean magic. And that's part of the whole thing, is the Demon King was cursed by this supposed witch who was angry that he turned away her advances. And so she curses this kingdom that they can never clean. And so that's why everything is so dirty, and the people have never actually physically cleaned. They just use cleaning magic, but since there's a curse and they can't, everything's like super, super dirty. And so that's part of the fun twist with it, is that she's like, I don't have anything magical. I'm just physically putting in the work. And so they call her like, what is it? She's a cleaning saint, I think is what they call her. And it's the funniest thing. It was really good. It's a very unique story. I would definitely recommend it if you're looking for a very unique and different kind of shoujo fantasy. I feel maybe in the beginning it does have a little bit of cliche elements, but the story itself, I feel like, is just very original. Like, I mean, I don't know of any other series to even compare this to because of the cleaning element. Like, that's just her thing, and she's like, she doesn't say I finally found my people, but she feels like she's able to fit in and be appreciated because she's so passionate about cleaning. And with that, there is a mention of ghosts, and I'm curious if there actually will be ghosts that we see in the second volume, because that sort of overlaps with the romance, and I'm really here for that romance. It's really, really good. It's very sweet. I'm here for the slow burn, but I'm like, I also wanted to hurry up and just be a romance at the same time. So I do feel this fits for the supernatural because it's not a demon realm, but I mean, like I said, he's the Demon King. We do have Ghost that I won't say anything else. I won't finish that sentence in case I go into spoilers. But this is what I would definitely recommend, especially if you're looking for something different. For number 2, I was like, I think this one actually might be paranormal, but I was looking up about like what makes supernatural. They said that science can't actually define the supernatural. And I was like, well, science cannot define the things happening in this series, and that is Rosie and the Labyrinth. I love this series. Shout out to Maeve at Ever Reading, because she recommended this to me, put it on my radar, and I absolutely love the entire series. I cried in volume 3. It was so very good. I have a video review if you're curious. I feel like this has a lot of different things. I feel like it's maybe a crossover of supernatural and paranormal. I mean, there's a lot of things with Rosie herself. I can't say anything, but I feel like she would actually fit this prop really, really well. But I mean, you have the Labyrinth and you have these different people, and yes, there is like one witch and there are sort of like magical things that are happening, but nobody really knows why that these things happen in this labyrinth and why people lose their human identity and start changing, say, into like our guy here who starts having cat-like qualities. I don't even know what I said. I had to edit that out because I was like, what? Anyway, he starts having cat-like qualities. And same as, oh my goodness, Jack. I love Jack, guys. I could just gush about Jack all day. He's an amazing, I mean, he's amazing. Like, if we had a spin-off of Jack, 7Z's can just take my wallet because I'm reading it. I am reading it. Where is Jack? There's a really cool scene with him. I don't know. But he's right here, and he also has, like, raven-like qualities. So there's things that happen to these people in this labyrinth, and they forget who they were. And so I feel like it's sort of a crossover because you don't have vampires or anything like that. So I feel like science cannot explain why these things are happening to these people, and you get sort of you get a mystery element that's woven in, again, with that supernatural element. I can't talk about those things. Those are such massive spoilers, but it is so good. Like, this is another like great one to read, I feel like, in October or for like the spooky season, because it's not, I mean, yes, it does have occasional spooky moments, but I wasn't afraid when the lights went out. So, I don't think it's that bad or that intense. I feel like this is like the second spookiest read that I have on my shelf, but it's so very good. I mean, it's just a fantastic story. If you want to learn more, check out that video that I linked in the corner, because it is so very good. I highly recommend this one. For number 3, the spookiest thing I have on my shelf is Fairy Tale Battle Royale. And I've sort of been a little bit nervous to continue this series because I've read volume 1 and volume 2, and I definitely want to know what happens in volume 3 and volume 4. I think volume 5, if it didn't get pushed back, should be coming out later this year. This is really, really good. Like, this one made me a little bit like on edge. I won't deny that, but oh man, I don't even know where to start. I do not even know where to start. I'm pretty sure that this is also a supernatural one, or it's, like I said, it's a dark and gruesome twist on Alice in Wonderland, and the main girl absolutely loves Alice. The art, I don't know why I started flipping through it, but I was like, let's just go, since I'm flipping through it. The art is very beautiful. I love our main girl very, very much, and how passionate she is about Alice in Wonderland. She finds herself sort of in this book where the fairy tales are not what they are supposed to be, and dark things are happening. I mean, you can see here on the back, we've got a bunch of swords in our guy here, and she's got to figure out what exactly is happening. How can she get back to her world? And also, I don't think she's trying to save this world, but she's definitely wanting things to not go bad for this world that she absolutely loves, that she knows almost by memory. I feel like as the series goes on, it definitely gets more supernatural, and it definitely gets a little bit more spooky and horror-like, and supposedly horror falls into the supernatural. So I do feel like this is a low-key horror manga, but man, the storytelling is so good, and just the story itself is really, really engaging. It keeps you on the edge of your seat, and like I said, you meet this one character, well, I thought to say, but you meet one, oh, like here, like, look how creepy they look. But you find out, well, you're trying to find out, our main girl here, what's her name? Aoba, yeah, she's trying to find out what exactly is happening to these people. I won't say any more because I don't want to give away spoilers, but this is another good one that, like, if you're looking for some light horror with a really engaging and interesting story, this is one that I would also suggest. Like I said, I'm pretty sure this is supernatural because I don't know how science could explain any of what's going on at all. Like, I don't know. And then throw in the horror element and just the different things that are happening. It can get pretty intense. So like I said, I still have not worked up the nerve to continue this series. Volume 2, like the end of volume 2 really wrecked me. So that I know that that's some of it, because I'm like, oh my goodness, like, I don't know what's gonna happen, but I feel like nobody is safe. And so Yes, that's all I will say about this one, but it's another good one that I think fits the supernatural theme. Number 4, I was like, this should count, and that is Kamisama Kiss. I know I featured this as my honorable mention last week in my top 5 Wednesday video plan to read. I do plan to read this, and I'm so excited. Like, since filming that video, I actually went and looked up to see when are other volumes of this series going to be releasing, because I have volumes 1 through 3, and I have volumes 4 and 5 on order with Right Stuff, but I did see like volumes 6, 7, and 8. They're supposed to be coming slowly in stock, I think, by the end of this year. So I feel very optimistic that there's a chance I can actually read through this whole series since my library doesn't have it. I actually might try and push it off to read it next year just so I can have more of the volumes. But this does deal with yokai, and yokai are spirits, so I'm like, that should be supernatural and not paranormal. And I don't know much about Kamisama Kiss, guys. I picked up Kamisama Kiss because of you, shoujo community, and not wanting to miss out on this one either. I have enjoyed what I have skim read through this series. I'm trying to think. She goes to a shrine, and she becomes sort of like the new master of the household because something happens, because I know she gets like her house gets taken or something like that because her dad had like a lot of debt and he wasn't paying the rent or something, and so she's homeless. And that's when she runs into this man. He gives her this shrine, and he is I believe the guy that is there, like the spirit that lives there, and he's really mad, and she's like basically the new master. I don't know what exactly that entails, but this is a romantic comedy, and I've heard so many great things about this. I think they call it a divine comedy, so there we go. But it's one that I feel fits the supernatural, and if I had more volumes readily in my hands, I would totally read this in October because I feel like it fits. It'd be a good time to read it, but I really want to try at least have half the volumes in my hand to see, do I want to keep going? Like, what do I want to do? Because I think is it 18 volumes? I'm not really sure, but I know it's a pretty good long series, like good healthy length. Is there ever a bad length for a series? Anyway, don't mind me. But this is one that I'm excited to try. I'm sorry I can't say more about the story because I don't actually know. But I was like, this has yokai. That yokai are spirits. That's supernatural. It should count. Here we are. And number 5, last but not least, I feel like this is my go-to supernatural paranormal, and that is Yu Yu Hakusho. I feel like Yu Yu Hakusho, I'm so thankful for you because I always can depend on you for like this genre. I've only read volume 1. I do want to get the rest of the series. My husband was actually just talking the other day. He's like, man, I should watch it because he loved it growing up. And I'm like, well, I've never seen it. Just outside of like reading this first volume, but it definitely has a lot of supernatural elements. He is a ghost. He is sort of, I don't know if they call him a paranormal detective or supernatural detective, but he basically is a detective of sorts and looking into these supernatural things that are happening and what these spirits are doing. I love this first volume a lot. It was very, very good. I am only going to wait for reprints. I decided I was like, I'm not going to go spend a bunch of money on trying to get the series. I just hope that Viz Media decides to print it one day. And I did feature this it was a collab I did with My Waifu and Me. I'll leave it here. My Waifu and Me, they are awesome. I really enjoy their videos. Please go check out their channel. They are so great, and they just have so many interesting manga picks, and I was just so thankful that I was able to read this because of that, because it's one of my favorite chapters. It has a doggo, and that's the only reason, guys, I have not watched the anime, because the doggo chapter's not in the beginning of the anime. I'm like, how can you cut such a wonderful and fantastic chapter? I don't know if I should say more about it because I sort of feel like it would be spoilers. Oh my goodness, but it is so great. Like, if you are a dog lover or just pet lover, it is such a moving chapter. And if the series continues having these supernatural cases, I really, really love it. Like, I have read a little bit of volume 2, and I really love something that happens in that one as well. I feel like this is a great series that really just makes you think about, like, especially when it comes to negative thoughts towards other people or to yourself, and how that can impact you just in general. I really, really enjoyed that, and Yusuke is just a great hero to follow because he doesn't put up with anything. So it makes for a very fun read, in my opinion. And that, my friends, wraps up my 5 picks in my honorable mention that I don't actually think fit the supernatural genre, but that is okay. I would love to hear from you, friends. Do you guys read supernatural or paranormal? Are you looking forward to reading spooky reads this season? I would love to hear from you, friends. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. And thank you so much for watching. Bye!